Alright, Heat 4, sponsored by Pace HDD of the 1600s of the national title. And we're away, Benny Porter on pole, Stevie Jones on second. Benny got a great start. Looks like Stevie might have bogged down a little bit.
Right, Jordan Deckard in fourth place there. Now, who's that in third that we can see?
I think that's Jack Flood.
Jack Flood in third place in the Sabre. But there's Ben Porter in the checkmate, going across the top of the track.
He's had a great start.
Great start, a solid lead ahead of Stephen Jones, Jack Flood, Jordan Deckard. The will follow cars Brody Tilbrook that I've seen through there. There's Gary Ogden in the orange car. Hard to miss that one.
Okay, so there, as you say, Geordie Deckard in fourth. That's Jason Williams.
Jason Cutts in fifth.
Yep.
There's
Steve Gamara around the outside of Brody Tilbrook.
In the black car, Shane Purvis going through up the hill in the blue and white Sabre. Back to the front cars.
Hey, Geordie Deckard looks like he wants to have a crack at Jack Flood there.
Alright, wait for things to settle down. They're still nose to tail and single file.
There's David Campbell near the rear of the field there. That's Rodney French there as well. Benny Porter goes defensive unnecessarily.
First lap to the inside.
Yeah, it's a bit early for that, I would have thought.
Is Ben feeling the pressure? What do you think?
Yeah, I think he wants to see if he can pull a gap on the whole field, effectively, with Stevie Jones as well. Stevie's been pretty quick, actually, so I would have thought, Benny might be, let Stevie and I run away.
Right, well, it's still very early days in this race, but Ben Porter, the checkmate in the front. Stephen Jones, great drive in the Sabre 02. The white car we can see there, very fast, equal speed through there. Yeah, not a lot of difference.
Okay, so Jack Flood sees Geordie Deckard going to have a crack at Jack Flood. No. Jason Williamson and Darren Williams is following his mentor, so to speak.
Look at they are. Jack Flood goes wide. That leaves a bit of a gap.
Yeah, not
possibly. No, Jason Cutts does close up a bit there in the semi-factory Jason.
There's Gary Ogden there just behind that group as well, so he's not too far off the back of this battle. In fact, Jason Cutts has caught up to the back of Geordie Deckard here and could almost be picking the toe up there.
Right, and he's sucking Darren Williams along as well.
Benny's gone defensive again, just making sure that Steve Jones...
Look at that.
What happened there?
That's Jason Cutts.
Jack Flood just almost moved over and let him through.
He went out wide, that's right. Jason Cutts tried to follow
Geordie
Deckard through for that position, didn't quite make it though.
Okay, so in this group here you've got Brody Tilbrook, there's Johnny Mack in front of him as well. These front two are sort of pulling a bit of a gap on the rest of the field. Geordie Deckard, I feel, could probably run with these two if he can get back up there.
Well, they've broken the slipstream there, but Stephen Jones not losing anything to Ben Porter.
Geez, Gary Ogden was pretty close to the back of Darren Williams coming through the right-hander. Here you go up the inside, Johnny Mack.
Johnny McDonald behind Shane Purvis there, didn't quite through. Morgan Fremantle and Stephen Gamara.
Actually, Joust Clothing has supplied the shirts for this weekend as well, so thanks Shane Purvis. Okay, so there's Darren Williams looking at the back of the car of Jason Cutts, which is actually... Darren Williams is looking at the back of his brother's car, which Jason Cutts is driving.
Exactly. Gary Ogden's looking at the back of Darren Williams and looking extremely racy.
Actually, Darren Williams looks like he's trying to go around the outside of Jason, which I don't think Jason would let him do.
But listen, Jordan Deckar's not really as fast as he appeared to be in the previous heat there. He's actually slowing that pack of cars down. Yeah. They're going left and right at the...
There's Ken Shepherd there. Ken Shepherd just behind Johnny Mack coming... just in the picture.
Alright, well, it's great to see Kent there. Hopefully we can focus on him a bit later in this race. We haven't said anything about him this weekend so far.
Well, he hasn't had the greatest weekends. He's been working his butt off on his car all weekend, and he did an engine change on Friday and a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah, he's had a challenging weekend, but he's had most of the year off racing, so he's, probably a bit short on seat time.
Alright.
Here's the battle. There's Kent just in the background just behind Johnny Mack, and there's Johnny Mack in front of
Gamara and Shane Purvis in that group of cars. Stephen jumping up into the air as he hit that curb hard that we saw a second ago. But the front group of cars here, we'll see, there's the first two white cars, the leaders, and second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth go through there. Gary Ogden in sixth place in the orange Corsica.
Okay, so the front two have got a bit of a gap. Here you go, have a look, Jack Flood, be confident. No, he was a bit hesitant. Everyone's had to check up.
That's right, now there's nose to tail and no one's giving any quarters. So and in this pack of cars, that's
Gamara up the inside of Morgan.
Fremantle, Shane Purvis, John McDonald, Kent Shepherd, we just see a flash of in that scarlet.
And that's David Campbell behind Ken as well from WA, so he had a DNF in one of the earlier races where he had carby troubles. I think they've sorted it out now. I think they found that they had a fuel pump failure. It just wasn't given enough pressure.
Alright, so first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth again. Now, Jason Cutts, I think he's doing very well, not having driven in quite a long time and not having sorted that car out much and doing it as he's going this weekend, but still only fractions of a second off the fastest
Brody
lap
Tilbrook
time.
up the inside of David Campbell, coming back through the field.
And Ken Shepherd as well, so...
Didn't quite get Kent
Didn't
there
quite
yet.
get
He'll have a go at the end of this little short back straight by the attitude of the body language of the car. So Gary Ogden in the Corsica. There goes Darren Williams up the inside of Jason Cutts. Darren Williams has been making passes into the final corner all weekend, and more often than not he's been passed back down the straight. Let's see if Jason will get him back down the straight.
We'll see in
He's
the moment.
looking left, right. Here goes Benny.
And Stephen Jones right on Ben Porter's tail still. Hasn't lost anything throughout this race.
So Gamara is defensive and holds off Morgo. Joust. But anyway.
Mr. Joust, okay.
There's
Brody Tilbrook in that yellowish coloured top part of his car there. Brody, he's only raced a couple of times in Formula V in his entire career, and he's not exactly at the back. He's Darren Williams.
Spins right in front of Jason Cutts. So Darren Williams did hold the place down the straight, but he threw it away coming down the hill.
Okay, so Darren just felt that pressure. He's putting that pressure on himself, trying to go through and pick off cars in the field, but he's blown it for this race.
Okay, so that's created a gap from 4th to 5th now. Which actually, there's Darren there. He didn't lose that much time.
He might have kept going pretty quick, so we'll see. There's Brody Tilbrook, we can see, behind
Looks like
John
he's going up
McDonald.
the inside of Johnny Mack.
And he's taken Johnny McDonald down the inside, coming onto the main straight.
Okay, there's Rob Sermon as well, just behind. So you got the two Stingers from Interstate battling on there at the back there.
All right, the leaders again. No lost time from Stephen Jones. Great driving, Jordan Decker, Jason Cutts and Gary Ogden there.
Oh, on the grass there, Darren Williams going up the inside
wheels
of
on the grass and
Gamara
on the
and
curve.
Morgo. Great effort.
He's passed 3 or 4 cars.
And who says he's not an aggressive driver?
But has he overdriven the entry into that corner? Yes, he has, and
He lost both of them. He did a fantastic job to take both of them, and unfortunate.
Darren obviously probably feeling the weight of expectation, being a semi-factory or a factory-supported driver and car there. So we know Darren's got a lot in him. Things not having gone well in this race so far, unfortunately, but still another heat to go, I think, before the final.
Well, Darren's also a race winner in both the state and in the AASA State Championship down at this circuit as well.
Correct. So a lot of effort having gone into that car and his driving for this race meeting.
Well, look at this group. This whole group here is, the old proverbial blanket.
Exactly. So first, second, third.
There you go. Geordie Decker's pulled a couple of car legs from Jack Flood.
5th. Jason Cutts still in 5th. Jack Flood in 4th.
Jason Cutts has lost a couple of car legs, but it's probably due to the fact when Darren Williams spun in front of him.
Look at this group of cars. They've now been well over 10 laps in this race. Well over 10 laps in this race, and only fractions of a second apart, aren't they?
Rob Sermon and David Campbell take 2 very different lines through the final corner. Look at that. Benny moves straight to the inside there as well. Yeah,
so Ben, he's covering his position so far. So
we're probably just after half race distance. So you think that if you wanted to, you could sort of swap the leads down the straight and
tiny bit of defensive driving there.
Yeah, there you go. He's Darren Williams this time.
Darren Williams there. He's made up one of those spots that he lost last time.
Ken Shepherd up the inside of David Campbell.
Second.
Jack Flood's also caught up to the back of Geordie Decker again.
There's 3rd and 4th. That gap's reduced, and 5th and 6th, that gap is definitely reduced.
Yeah, so they're all tightening back up.
That's right. Gary Ogden's got onto the tail of Jason Cutts.
And if you look, Benny Porter and Stevie Jones are not that far ahead of these guys. If Benny was, not so defensive, they'd probably pull away.
I wonder if Ben's, not used to looking in his mirrors a little bit. But we'll see how this race goes. Plenty of time left.
Okay, coming down in here, you've got Gamara with... Oh, look at that, there's Brody Tilbrook going up the inside of Shane Purvis. Easy does it. Oh, Johnny Mack will take advantage too.
That's right, Shane just put off the line slightly, and that's 2 spots down the drain for Shane.
Down the drain, Shane. It's a shame. Anyway, it's getting late. Okay, so you've got that's Jason Cutts there. A lot of hours got in that car in preparation for this weekend. Look at that, Benny steps again.
Slight little defensive move that we're not used to seeing, but anyway. First, second.
Here comes Jack Flood on the inside.
Jordan Decker, he takes the fast line.
Jason Cutts is definitely closer to those two, and he's bringing Gary Ogden with him.
And unusual different lines that we've just seen there between Gary Ogden and Jason Cutts.
Here you
Gary
go.
just running a bit wider.
Morgan's got the line, but can Darren Williams do the over and under? He's going to try it. Let's see how he goes. Coming back up the hill.
And
Will he have to try it?
That was a great move by
It does
Darren
tighten
Williams.
up going up there. The track does give you a feeling that you've got the line, and then you know.
Morgan's a safe and wise driver, so I'll bet Darren's got through there. We'll wait a sec.
Jason's definitely
Exactly so. Those positions, though, haven't really changed much for the last 10 laps.
third, fourth, fifth.
Hopefully we should see Darren Williams next car through.
Yeah,
Yes,
Darren
we
is.
will.
So, let's see what pace he's got now. See if he can put his head down and get away from the rest of his field, because he is with the front group normally.
Or at least he might drag Morgan Fremantle along.
All right, Ken Shepherd's all over the back of Shane Purvis. Is he going to have a crack?
Right, Ken Shepherd, in his stealth that he made in his one-car garage, in his block of flats downstairs, all the fiberglassing, all the metal work, all done.
Everything. Welded the chassis. He didn't even know how to weld before he started. He taught himself how to weld, practiced, and then started welding the chassis.
And one thing Kent is good at doing is modifying his car for every race meeting, including changing all the suspension pickup points with an angle grinder and a welder. So from race meeting to race meeting, you can barely recognise whether it's the same car.
Yeah, they've even got paint jobs before between last meeting and the last year and this year, which he's only done 2 meetings. Look, Darren Williams has pulled a bit of a gap here to this group,
Okay.
which you would have expected. Brody Tilbrook, he's doing great.
He's racing, but no, he has pushed Morgan wide, but he's too slow going into that corner.
At least he realised that the door was closing on him and he pulled out of that. That was very good awareness there from Brody Tilbrook. Good on him.
So back to the leaders.
All right,
Positions
so
have not changed.
Benny Porter has held the lead the whole race. I wouldn't suggest that Stevie Jones would have liked that, because I think he's had a few opportunities to pass, but anyway, it's been a little bit defensive there, so they could have been quicker, the two of them, if they worked together. Here's Johnny Mack all over the back of Morgan Fremantle.
Right, Darren Williams safely pulling away from Stephen Gamara in the black Jacer there. Brody Tilbrook in the yellowish and blue
Whoa, Johnny
car.
Mack, great effort.
That's right, fast line by John McDonald in the black pointy wedge-shaped Mako.
Okay, here's Benny Porter. Let's see, he can come into the final corner. He takes a nice late apex into here, does a good job. Stevie Jones follows him, Geordie Decker. They all follow a similar sort of line through there earlier on. We said, Shane Purvis.
Morgan Fremantle braked terribly early there.
And then he missed the corner.
So he's passed 2, 3.
Benny Porter's defensive again. Stevie Jones looks at the outside. He thinks better of it, sort of.
Now, this is a great performance by Stephen to be right on the tail of that great car and driver combination for an entire race.
Absolutely, and it's the first time, his first year in Formula V and his first time at the circuit, so he's doing a great job.
So a young great driver to keep an eye on him, no doubt. So
I always looks like he's got his hand up when he's coming up the straight because of the way the camera sticks out the top of his car. Stevie Jones. Okay, Geordie Decker's still got Jack Flood behind him, and Jason Cutts and then Gary Ogden. The position status quo.
Great group of cars, that pack of 4 cars from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th that we can see there. And Gary Ogden showing a bit of form. He was a bit up and down in the previous race, including that spin, but he's showing consistent form and speed. So in the final, there are lots of cars here that are really only 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 seconds apart in potential lap time. So that should make for a great final race from the way things are settling out throughout the heats.
I'd suggest it's going to be a fantastic final. You get 30, 35, mid-30 cars or whatever it is, all joined together on this little circuit, 2.1 kilometres or whatever it is. You're going to get good racing. Oh, Gary Ogden's a little bit tailing coming in there.
Right, so Gary Ogden, once a Nationals winner, the car ahead of him at the moment. Jason Cutts, a twice Nationals winner, both from New South Wales.
Rob Sermon, twice the South Australian state champion.
There we can see in the red, white and blue Stinger.
Final lap, Benny Porter holds the defensive line again. Stevie Jones, can he do the over and under? No, okay.
And don't do that. Ben Porter's just got that little bit extra.
Here you go, Gary Ogden's going to have a look up the hill.
Okay, the leaders. The great checkmate driven by Ben Porter, still in the front, having led almost every lap throughout this race. But Ben hasn't faced this sort of pressure since Daniel Reynolds. So only 3 drivers look to be in that top little group, possibly, as we're approaching the final.
Oh, I know. You say approaching the final, you'd have to say Stevie Jones has got to be a contender.
Exactly.
And Benny Porter, Michael Kinsella's been, he did a 7.6 in his heat. Oh, Gary Ogden.
So we'll see in the next heats how Michael Kinsella fares against Ben Porter.
Yes, and then Daniel Reynolds.
And Daniel Reynolds, exactly.
I mean, those four have got to be the tips of the podium so far with the final.
All right, coming onto the back straight for the last time, Ben Porter.
Oh.
Tight line, tight entry.
Push Stevie Jones wide. Same as what Kinsella did to Stevie Jones, actually.
Right, so they would cross
Gary
the
Ogden.
line here. Again, Ben crossing over the line, rather abruptly possibly.
Yeah, and
but
then
he takes the win.
He does, and Stevie Jones, you know, he was close.
He was very close
There
to
wasn't
win.
much in that. Look at that. He was,
So this all makes for a great possible final coming up in a couple of hours' time.
okay, then Darren Williams has pulled away from this next group, and he's in what?
Stephen Gamara, seventh place. Stephen Gamara and
Only
Brody,
just over
Brody
great,
Tilbrook,
great
correct.
drive there by him.
John McDonald,
Shane Purvis,
Shane Purvis,
Dave Campbell.
and Rob Sermon in the red, white, blue Stinger that we can see going through. Is that without a nose cone by the look? Race 4, Groups B and D in the Pace HDD Excavation. Ben Porter, first place for the Kelfab Engineering Checkmate. Second place, Stephen Jones, Bracken Motorsport. Third place, Jordan Decker in the Mydrage Cool Aircon Jacer. Fourth place, Jack Flood in the Flood Motors Express Sabre.
Okay, fifth is Jason Cutts, Jacer. Sixth is Gary Ogden, Corsica Cleaning. Darren Williams, DMW Masonry. And Steve Gamara,